burning film here.
All right, guys. So we're back. As you can see, something is clearly different. We've brought a guest for the second time. I know it's crazy. We haven't had guests in a proper way in such a long time, but we're doing it again, kind of, not really. Anyways, cue the intro. Hello guys, Two Latin Brothers Podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And we're back at it again with another not vlog. And this is our friend Sam.
Hello. How you guys doing?
So Sam has been on the podcast before, if you've listened to the podcast before. But if you're new here, Sam is a guy I went to high school with. He used to be a part of the dance crew people and stuff like that. And I used to just sit in, watch. I'd also record some stuff sometimes when the peoples would do stuff. When the teachers would ask, I'd just show up.
Okay. So Sam.
Yes, sir.
You want to give a better introduction than whatever that was, because I feel like there's a lot more that could have been said.
Of course. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel, but in terms on social media, I go by ID Sam. And honestly enough, I'm a self-taught dancer that has been growing up here in Ottawa for about the past 15 years. And honestly enough, I have met Victor during his grade 9 year while I was in grade 10, and we've been close friends ever since. He's always been there for me in terms of usually at times of recording a couple of my best Instagram videos at the time. And honestly enough, not gonna lie, when we look back at them, what the heck was I doing?
You know what's interesting is the fact that I a lot of stuff is always like that. Yeah. The very first podcast, I don't know if you've heard that, but the very first podcast, I gotta tell you, the whole half of the episode is me and Victor talking about how we can hear ourselves talk. That's literally half the episode. I'm not even that's half the episode.
Yeah, guys.
But it's because for most things it's a new experience and you're figuring it out.
Yeah. And
you don't really know how it's gonna pan out until you try it.
Yeah.
But as you go and you grow, if you for example, in our case, the podcast from episode 1 to episode I want to say 8, the audio quality goes from 0 to 100 because I learned how to edit audio in those 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that we still had hiccups throughout the entire first season. So, for example, we'd be sitting quite literally on a couch because we didn't have this. For those new viewers, we didn't have anything like this. So we quite literally sometimes we'd be recording on a bed, the squeakiest bed you might have ever seen or heard. So we're just sitting there.
And we had to be still.
Just stagnant. That's what we were. Yeah, so Sam, you've been popping off on TikTok a little bit.
Yes,
not gonna lie, it looks really good, and you have a couple of videos with 1 million plays, which is really impressive. How did you feel when that first happened?
Well, first off, I started I ran out of my house and I started running in happiness. I started screaming because I did not think that my level of growth would happen at such a rapid pace. I would more have thought it would just happen in small increments and just gradually over time though. But just the fact that it happened like that was wow.
Yeah, that's the power of TikTok, honestly.
We will proceed as planned. So, Sam, what were we talking about an hour ago?
I actually don't remember.
All right, so we'll just
we're just that memorable.
We just know what's up. I guess we
Sorry, ring hit it.
Yeah. Okay. What was I? I was gonna say something. I was gonna ask you something. No, okay, so we were talking about how you popped off on TikTok.
Yeah, yes.
And how you were saying how you're like just how you exploded or
His sudden booming.
sudden his can you stop putting that so close?
Can you stop moving your hands so much?
It's for the audience for the. You know what? I can't even think.
Would you like to be the one moving around?
No. Okay. So what was I saying? I was saying how we had how his growth was super exponential just suddenly.
Yes.
Right. And I think it's a tribute to the fact that like you've been super consistent, like with TikTok. Mind you, at the same time, like it's really cool to see that that happen, like to just like like just see someone take off like that. Meanwhile, I'm out here trying to make numbers grow, and this one doesn't know how to hold a mic properly, so maybe that's the problem.
That's not my fault.
You did it again.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. All right. So
if I can give my honest 2 cents about the whole entire matter. Yes, I'm not only just excited and just overly joyed up upon the current result of things, but as you said, I've always been consistent, and even though there have been times in which that I have been somewhat second guessing upon my own capabilities, not only as a content creator but as a dancer, I started wondering is there a limit to my own ability? But then again, I keep on punching myself in the face. If I start thinking that, then I'm gonna be limited. I gotta just keep on thinking that me as a person, I have to take it day by day and just give it my very best. And just remember that I am displaying myself to such a wide audience of many sorts, and I have to actually keep on spreading good energy as I always had in person and also online.
Right, yeah, that's so true. One of the things that I think is interesting is how it's just true. It is something, but one of the things that I've noticed with most people, we've talked about this too, with a lot. Actually, recently we've talked about it a lot. There's maybe 2 episodes ago we talked about only this for a whole episode on the podcast already. How we were talking about how people will start something, and then as they'll get a group of people to do it with them.
Yeah.
And then one person will drop out, and then the group will fall apart, and then no one's doing it.
Yeah.
Because they rely on each other, right? But that support system falls apart because one guy's I don't know, I'm not feeling it anymore. It's not what I thought it would be, right?
Yeah, because as soon as one person stops, it's kind of to the other people, and then everyone else is just okay, maybe this isn't for me, and then they give up, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest issue I find with groups, and you see that a lot with people who try Twitch streaming as a group.
Yeah.
Right. They start Twitch streaming together. One guy's oh, I gotta cancel.
Yeah.
And then canceled. Okay, we're missing one player. Mm-hmm. And then next week, 2 of them are I gotta cancel. Oh no, now it's falling apart. And then there's just that one guy that's just okay, well, clearly this isn't working out, so I'm gonna drop it.
And now their channel's dead.
Yeah, and mind you, not to say that you should rely on other people for your success, but I think that's what it's ultimately what it takes. You need to have a lot of drive to move forward. We've been doing this for almost 3.5 years now, every single Friday.
If that doesn't show we care, then I don't know what does.
No, it's just you have to be consistent, and mind you, I have had a friend of mine upload the episode for me, because I knew I was going to be out of town, or I was going to be away, or I was going to be away from internet, or somewhere. I had to be prepared, right? And now I can just schedule it in. Yeah. With the platform we use, I can just set it the time, the date, when it goes up, and everything.
Easy peasy.
So and we've talked about this too, how there were days where we knew we were gonna go camping Friday, so in the middle of nowhere, so I got no signal, so I can't upload. So what would happen is we would record I remember we would record an episode for that week, and then if the following week we knew we weren't gonna be around, we'd record the next episode right after. So and the problem would be if we're watching some show, and we're talk about it, and we're talking about, so this week's episode came out. How am I supposed to talk about next week's episode before it even came out? And this is where it gets tricky, because one of the funny things was I'm what I've loved is Marvel. Marvel will drop a trailer for the next episode talk about the trailer for like 5 minutes, then we move on because like I haven't seen it. So like it's one of the things where you have to learn to accommodate for what you can and can't do.
Yes.
Also, I think it's interesting that TikTok is one of those platforms where like you only have like 2 seconds to catch someone's attention. And it's like super retentive like you have to be super like catchy or something, as opposed to like here I can go on for 3 hours and no one's gonna care. Like it's crazy to think about.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's just really interesting seeing. Well, I found it especially interesting seeing your growth. Your growth, honestly, when I saw your growth, I was like, I had to go to my brother. I'm like, have you seen this? Have you seen this, man? He's growing. He's growing fast. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have to like start doing stuff with this guy before he pops off and he forgets about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, so one of the things that I found really funny was that so when you hit, I think like 5K followers on TikTok, that's when I think my brother was like, yo, have you seen this? Like, have I seen what? It's like, have you seen Sam's TikTok? And I'm like, I didn't even know Sam had TikTok at this point. Like, you had just started. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I think I'll follow him or whatever. I never got around to it. And then like a couple of months go by, my brother's like, yo, he's at 10K. I'm like, he's at 10K. And I go look back at it. And then we even jumped into your live that night. And then I'm like, oh, I should follow him. And then that's when I followed you. But technically, I should have been following you like since you're at 5, but I didn't follow you till like you were at 10. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's
all good, man.
But it's like good. It was really funny because I was like telling my brother, I'm like, I thought I had followed him, but apparently I don't know what I'm doing with this app. Like I don't know how to use this thing. Like it's funny because I think it's interesting how YouTube has how TikTok has become this platform where you get one video and that's it. Like, if you get one video to pop off on TikTok, you've essentially made it because of the algorithm. The algorithm is so tailored. Like, it's great. Like, you don't understand. I have this obsession with rabbits, bunnies specifically. Like, I don't know what it is. There's just something about rabbits. Like, my TikTok.
And how they multiply?
Yeah, no. I mean, in like how they just hop around and like, the way they eat. It's cute. It's endearing. I also have this friend who has. That's not the point. Anyway, the thing is like I have this obsession with rabbits, and I've been trying to get a rabbit for like the longest time. My mom's like, because my mom's from this little town where they eat rabbits, so she's like, one day I'll come home and he'll be in the oven. I'm like, I can't have a rabbit while I live in this house, clearly. So it's just food to my mouth. So, and that's not an accurate statement. But anyway, so what I was saying is the fact that like my feed on TikTok is literally just animal videos. Like it's just all like most of my TikTok feed is animal videos, and every now and then like a comedian will pop up. But like that's like the feed because like that's what I'm liking.
Yeah.
Also, it's really interesting because at the same time, like if I see an anime video, I like it. Like 3 videos down, it's like all anime. Yeah. It's so fast and it's so optimized. Like it freaks me out sometimes. Like, and sometimes me and my brother will both be on TikTok and he'll be scrolling and I'll be scrolling and he'll like watch a video and show me them. Like, I'll be like 3 scrolls out. It's the same video, the exact same. I'm like, how are they lining up? He's like, bro, you're just copying me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't understand how did this sync up? It's really odd, but I think the algorithm is it's incredible that anybody can find success like this.
It's constantly adapting. It is constantly adapting within every user on a consistent basis. I understand.
Yeah, and it's like alive. It's kind of scary if you really think about it. But
it's always changing, like consistently, and like you'll see TikTok like update their policies all of a sudden because they're like, oh, somebody did something and like got to change this. It changes the algorithm a little bit. Yeah. Every time it changes something. And then you're just like, okay, well, this kind of changes nothing for me, but it changes everything.
I have definitely I can't remember who. There was a singer who she had no followers, mm-hmm. and she was like at 2,000, and I followed her. She did a cover of this song, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I come back, like I forgot about her, and then suddenly I'm like on TikTok, and like there's this song that everyone's using, and I'm like, what is this song? Click on it, it's her. I'm like, oh dang, she just followed. She's at like 1 million followers now. I'm like, dang. I was early game, like crazy stuff. Like,
I'm an OG follower, I bet.
Yeah, like, I didn't even know she popped up, but like that's the thing. Like I think that when you follow somebody and then you just forget about them, like that's the crazy thing about the algorithm, right? Because mm-hmm. you're like, oh, that's cool, and you follow a person, you don't even think about it. Then like
3 months go by and you come back and they're like, they've popped off so far up, like it's crazy. But at the same time, like that kind of level of success can be scary for some people. Like you have to be mentally prepared for, because suddenly like we're talking like thousands of people who can see you now, right? And one of the things that like for us that's been interesting is like at first no one could see us. It was all all audio based. We were just listening to me. So there's just thousands of people who have listened to me around the world. Like there are places that I didn't even know existed until like they showed up on the algorithm map. Yeah. Which is always interesting, which I think is like, how do I put this? There's somebody in Iraq who listens to us consistently. They hold 1% of our audience. There's someone from Iraq that's listening to two liberal Canadian boys out here, just Latino boys, mind you. There's someone out there who's listening to us consistently from Iraq. I don't know why. Props to you, man. I don't know who you at or where you from or what you done. I'm just out here like, thank you. Oh, this one's for you. But it's strange for sure. Also, what is it like Ireland? Yeah. Ireland is 5% of our audience. Thank you. I don't know why. Again, why? I mean, Ireland is pretty liberal, but I mean, I don't get why. Like, is our accent interesting? Like, is that what it is? Like, is that what it is? I want to know what it is. I don't know. I don't understand.
Like, well, you guys are very easy to listen to, and you guys are very entertaining. So therefore, that right there is the recipe of the 5% of people in Ireland listening to you.
Right. You know, it's what were we gonna say? I was just gonna say real quick. What's interesting is that most of our audience isn't even Canadian. Oh yeah, most of our audience is American. It's hilarious.
Same with mine.
Yeah. I think it's funny how like audiences are like that, but again, like America is like the apex of entertainment. Actually, it just reminded me of the Juno Awards of how Simu Liu had spoken, and he said, "We've all made it our dream to be successful in America." Like he's talking about like what is it, like Shawn Mendes, who was Justin Bieber at the weekend. He's like, even me, we've all achieved our dreams of being successful in America. Like, and it's true, right? Because a lot of things, which is odd because you can actually find the same level of success here in Canada as you can in America, which is an odd dynamic to have because they do a lot of TV show filming here. They do a lot of most of the TV shows are filmed in Canada. Yeah. Which most people don't know, which I think is really funny. Like there will be shows that are based in New York that are filmed in Toronto.
Do you see how
have you been keeping up with any shows recently?
No.
No anime? Actually. Oh no, he's gotta think about it now. It's like some anime, you know, we got some new ones coming out, you know, the spring season.
Well, like I'm waiting for the fall season because I'm waiting for this new sports anime. It's called Blue Lock.
Blue Lock.
It's about soccer and touching base upon an individual's strength in terms of becoming the best player in the world, and more specifically, becoming the best striker in the world, regardless upon win or lose. It's all about if they can actually make the goal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of sports are like that, right? And excuse me, you think about like people like there's this clip of this basketball player talking about LeBron James, yeah, and how he's like, he's like we're in the third quarter. He's like, I blocked LeBron James. He's like, and that's all I'm thinking about. Like, when this is over, I'm gonna go talk to my brother. I blocked LeBron James. This is like a viral clip that went viral, and he goes. And the guy who's interviewing goes like, the third quarter, he's like, yeah. And LeBron looks at him, he's like, you had a good game. And he goes, what? You had a good game. After that, he's like, on the foot, like, shot, fake the shot, another shot, just shot after shot after shot. He's like, before, like, you know, like the bell, like, shot, like, he laced it. He's like, that was like some crazy stuff. Like, you know, that's like Steph Curry before Steph Curry was even attempting that. He's like, I was just like, yo, man, what's going on? I look over at my coach and he's like, yo, man, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know what just happened. Like, that guy's a different breed. He's like, because it was like all of a sudden, like, he just like flicked a switch and he went from 0 to 100.
It's because usually those types of moments in sports within a My bad. Within a single player, when you like once you get that starstrucking moment into which all your hard work can actually like prevail in making that epic play, then therefore the rest of the game, you are on a roll, and you're playing at the best that you could ever be at during that point in time.
Yeah, for sure. You reach that like point where you're like, okay, I got this. This game is my game now. Like, because after you get like that one goal and you just like you get like pumped up and it raises your own team's morale well at the same time. So you're like, okay, this is it. I know if I pass it, this guy's gonna pass it, this guy, and pass it, this guy, and it's gonna get back to me, and I can go another one.
You're playing with such finesse, and you're like, "Oh, I got
this." Yeah, it is interesting to see stuff like that happen. Like I mean, I remember when I can't remember, there was a FIFA that we watched where obviously, of course, the greatest soccer player of all time, Messi, he was like being covered by like everybody, and he's always being covered by everybody. Mm-hmm. But then out of nowhere, he'll like pull his like someone has the ball, right? Somebody else on his team has the ball, and all the players are distracted, right? And he'll just like run around them to get the pass. Like, and I'm like, how? Like, there's like 4 people on this man, and somehow he still got the pass. Like, that makes no like the logic behind it is just like, did they all just fall asleep? Like, what just happened? Right? Like, are you all not alert? Like, how did we get to this point?
Nah, right. Like the man's okay. You must have utilized his physical speed and proper positioning and timing. It's like, yes.
Yeah, it's really odd. We're gonna take a break right here.
Hey guys, sorry I'm interrupting this video. I'm here to tell you to follow both our Instagrams and the podcast Instagram. Bro, what do you think about that?
Yeah, man, I approve this message. And we're back. Once again, back at it again. So, what were we talking about before?
We were talking about growth and success and how people get stuff done.
All right, let's move away from that. So, Sam, what do you do in your spare time besides TikTok?
Okay, so during my spare time, I usually watch anime, and excessively enough, I've been trying to like binge a couple on Netflix, for example, like Food Wars, Sword Art Online. I'm starting to get back into Naruto because Naruto was the first ever anime that I ever watched. But then, like, I saw like that they got One Piece up, but they're not even up to date. So therefore, I have to go on to a pirated website just to actually, just to actually like keep up to date though, because like when it comes to One Piece, I read the manga while I actually watch the show, so I already know what's about to happen. Though I just want to see how well they're gonna do for the animations.
I see. Yeah.
What is it? Like everyone, like I don't know what it is, but like your generation, all of you, like your first anime was Naruto. All of you.
Yeah, it was a starter. Like,
what was yours? You're gonna say Dragon Ball Z, aren't you? I knew it.
It's either Dragon Ball or Naruto.
Actually, no, it wasn't.
Wait,
it was actually Shaman King.
Shaman King?
Okay, that's nostalgic. You know, because they did a remake recently.
Yes, they did.
You wanna know what mine was?
Oh, which one?
No, it wasn't Pokemon. You want to take another guess?
Yu Yu Hakusho?
No.
Okay.
Nope. That's close, but you're in the right
Did you say
timeline.
One Piece?
No, it's not. It's not One Piece. It's not One Piece.
Hold on. Wait, Full Metal Alchemist?
Nope. That's later in the timeline. Not.
If it was Naruto, I'm gonna lose my mind.
It's not Naruto.
Bleach?
It is Bleach.
Oh, yeah.
Bleach is the anime that got me into anime. Well, it's not that the anime that got me into it, because I've told this story before, and everyone looks at me like I'm some freak of nature every time I say it. Okay, so Bleach is the first anime I watched as growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
But the anime that got me into anime, and you're gonna make a face, because every time, like, there's all these haters out there. The anime that got me into anime is Fairy Tail.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that was my second anime that I watched.
Okay, so the last person we had this discussion with looked at me like, dude, like a lot of people don't like Fairy Tail. A lot of people don't like Fairy Tail, and I don't know why. I don't know why there's all this hate towards Fairy Tail, but
it's because they're like they're mainly about like, I hate it because about that they keep on implementing the power of friendship into it with.
But have you not seen the Fast and the Furious franchise?
Yeah, like it's always about family.
It's literally the same plot line. Like, it's not even, because family. But it's one of those things where I think it's and also like that's the thing with anime. For anime, it's all about friendship, and movies and TV shows, it's family. which is interesting, right? The dynamic, right, is like it's basically the same thing. But I think alternatively, I'm like, that's the anime that, like, once I saw what was that fight. There's this one fight. Once I saw that fight, I can't remember who it was. Natsu versus somebody. I was like, that's it. Yeah, I'm like, that's it. I'm locked in. Like, I gotta start. Like, I started watching everything anime related, and like, yeah, I remember when I was actually, bro. What you were? What was the anime you said? What was the one for you? It was Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Can you believe I've never seen all of Dragon Ball? He has. I haven't.
I am proud of you for that.
This is a true story. I started watching, like, how many episodes? We
got like what, 20?
We got episode 20, and then I'm like, this is not picking up, man. It's taking too. Like, the guy's charging up an attack, and it's been like 6 hours, and I'm still waiting for this guy to make a move. Like, it's crazy, but at the same time, like, what's that basketball anime where like the entire third season is one game?
Oh, it is Kuroko no basketball.
Right. There's an entire one basketball game.
Well, yeah.
There's like 6 hour anime. Like, if you were to put all the episodes, it's like 6 hours, and this guy managed to take a shot. Like, that's great.
Like, that's anime for you.
Yo, man, like, it's like, how much can I milk this? It's like,
imagine how you can just milk one game, right? Imagine what you can milk out of like some guy in a kitchen, right? And then you get Food Wars.
Yeah.
Right? You can milk literally anything.
What season you on in Food Wars?
Oh, like, I'm on like season 3, and I'm about to end it.
Man,
my goodness.
We finished it already.
We finished this. Okay.
I already know, okay, that like someone's about to like face somebody that is like technically related to his dad in like the next season afterwards.
Like, oh man, like, honestly, like, there's so much that happens, and there's so much, like, I like the way they ended the anime. It's like, how do I put this? It's like, it's nice the way they ended it, but at the same time they left it open ended.
Like, they could literally bring back another season.
Like, they could make another 10 seasons if they wanted to, but like, because the guy who was running it just like stopped, it's like, this is good. Like, just like, that's a write off. Like, but I mean, like, what would you say is your favorite anime apart from the shirt you're wearing?
Oh wait,
that was not planned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was not planned though. I just love this shirt a lot because after watching like Hunter x Hunter during like COVID, I was like, I like this anime.
Yeah, man, it happens to everybody. What is it? Like,
never answered the question.
You're right. I was gonna say that.
Sorry. Like, when it comes to like my favorite anime, it's got to be like Hajime no Ippo. It is a boxing anime.
Yeah.
And like, honestly enough, like one for example, the main character and I, we share the same birthday, so like, and like two, he's someone, okay, that I actually genuinely try to be like very hardworking, very driven, doesn't take anything for granted, and truly values everyone around him, and truly fights not only with courage, but with the genuine love of the sport.
Right. It's like the.
I'm sorry, I just cut you off. But when you said that he had the same birthday as you, it reminded me of Asta from Black Clover, because he has the same birthday as me. If you search it up, now everyone's gonna try to find out
what your birthday is. What was I gonna say? No. I think. Yeah, it's something about characters like that. They're always compelling. Like, for example, Naruto. What makes Naruto a compelling character is his like really, really sad childhood.
Yes.
Like, all those flashbacks, like, man, this kid suffered like a lot, and then like you find out like what actually happened when his parents died, and you're even more distraught for the guy. You're like, this poor soul, like, someone give him a hug for me, please. Right? Like, it's just,
and someone then, please kill Danzo. Like,
yeah, no, and then you find out Sasuke has had it just like even worse, because his brother went on like this absurd mission, right? So like it is like, from both sides, you, not to say you pity them, but you feel bad for both characters.
Well, yeah,
like, you know, and like, and I get it. I get why everyone's like, yo, I get Sasuke. Like,
I don't blame him for trying to destroy the leaf, because honestly, they deserve it.
yeah, like when you look at it from his side of things, you're like, I'm on his side, to be honest. Like these guys messed it up for his people. Like his people don't even exist anymore. He was, for like a long time, he was the only one left.
Yes.
And it's like, that sucks. Like that's like, that actually sucks. And at the same time, like that's what makes it so compelling. And although, you know, at the end, like they make up and it's great and we're all happy and it's, you know, and then they did Boruto and I haven't watched that, so I can't talk about that. I don't know what's going on over there, but I don't know what's up. And I mean, maybe I'll tackle it at some point when I find the time, but there's something about specific characters and the way that they're written that it's just like it pulls you in, and I think it's attributed to the fact that they're really well written characters, because like the little things and the little nuances, like Naruto's obsessed with ramen, like everybody knows that, but like giving that personality quirk to him is like great and all that, and the fact that he's like a comical character when he's just hanging out, but when he's like in a fight and he's in the zone, different person. It's like a different person.
He is a creative fighter in terms of how he actually utilizes his shadow clones constantly, but the sad thing about him using his shadow clones is his way of coping with loneliness.
Right. But I mean, at the same time, like you kind of get that, right? Because he's been alone all his life, and then like, and quite honestly, like the whole time you're rooting for him, but like when you hit like Shippuden, you're like, and then you get more of Sasuke's story, and you're like, oh man, I've been rooting for the wrong side. I've been an idiot this entire time. I've been a fool. Like, you know, it's one of those things where like you're just sitting there like, oh man, and then you find out Kakashi's story, and you're even more heartbroken. You're like, oh,
like seriously, because like Kakashi, he was in the era in which that during the Third Great Shinobi War was still like prevalent, so therefore he lost a lot of people.
Yeah, he lost like everybody. He lost his father. He lost his two best friends. He lost like, and I mean, he lost one of his best friends because the other one didn't actually just, you know,
he was still alive.
That's a spoiler if you haven't seen Naruto. You don't know what I just said. That's not important.
Erase it
from your mind.
Mangaki Sharingan.
It's not gonna work. It's not how that works.
Copyright strike.
Oh no.
I think we'll be fine. No, but it's one of those things where you often forget about it. Like the fact that like all of these people have suffered, and those who haven't suffered, they had to take a lot of life. Like someone who like someone for like Jiraiya, for example. Yeah. He gets off the. That's also a spoiler if you didn't hear what I just said.
No, just stop yourself.
No, okay, no. Jiraiya, for example, he's one of those characters that he doesn't seem like he suffered, but he was pivotal in the Third War, right? In helping them survive as a village.
Yeah.
So he's taken a lot of life, right? So alternatively, it's like whether he hasn't like gone through like personal trauma, like from like his friends or like his family. He's had the other end of it where he's had to make the hard choice of having to take other lives, and then he does the unthinkable and he trains people from another village. Right, like which is even more crazy if you really think about it, because like he was running around like killing this village, and then he's like, I'm gonna train these 3 children.
And not only just them, in other multiple smaller ninja villages, in terms of orphans or refugees, train them in terms of bolstering their own military strength, but it was his own way in terms of trying to connect and to try to implement some form of peace.
Right, but it's also one of those things where you have to think of like, it's also like a way of him atoning for what he did, right?
Yes.
Like it's very much that like I caused these people pain. Like, how do I atone for that?
Yeah, it's like he's like, I took everything from you, but like at least let me give you a way to survive, kind of ideology, right? Because like he's just kind of going around killing everybody in his path because, you know, he has to kind of take over the village because war.
And the title that he gets doesn't help him either.
The pervy sage.
No, the other one.
The legendary sounding, the Toad Sage.
Yeah. People fear him, right, because of his title. He's not just some nobody. He's feared because of who he is, right? Heck. And like when they're recruiting for the 5th Hokage, They wanted him to be the Hokage.
as their first choice.
Yeah. So it's like,
And also like even Itachi was actually afraid of fighting him when they first encountered during the first season.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they fight for a little bit, and he's just like, oh no. It's
I'm
like,
not trying to face.
He's
someone
like,
that's
he's like, I'm trying to leave right now. It's like,
But like, and it's interesting that later on you find out that the only reason he showed up was to let the elders know that he's still keeping an eye on Sasuke. That's the only reason he showed up.
What?
It's like, why? Like, that's crazy. I showed up to a village just to let you all know I'm still around and I'm still keeping an eye on my little brother. Like, I still got eyes on you.
yeah, because that was the bargain.
Yeah.
That was.
Which is crazy to think about, right? Like, to make that kind of deal where everyone in that village could literally like attack you. I'm gonna walk in just to prove a point, just because I can. Watch me. And like, obviously, like this anime has had a huge impact in like the like, especially your guys' like your generation has been like, I don't know, absorbed Naruto to a point of no, like every now and then I'll be like walking around. I remember showing you guys are like in grade 7 and 8. Or walking around and all of a sudden I hear like some kid yell out Shadow Clone Jutsu, like Rasengan. There'd be that one kid in the back doing his hand signs, Shidori. You know, like it was great, but I was like, man, like if only Japan knew this was happening. Like it's great, but I mean, at the same time, you're just remembering it, aren't you? But
Every track and field day, Naruto run.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be that at least one person who does it.
That was me.
No, honestly, like, and I join people sometimes.
like it's just
Like it's honestly really funny because you just like, you know, like I'm just doing track and field, you know, it's a normal day, you know, and then randomly some guy zooms by you and you're just like, oh,
I feel so fast, really.
it's like I'm fast. I'm speed.
Speed.
It's interesting actually. There's an actual ninja, because they're actual ninjas. Who would have thought? He says that the ninja run is actually like the way your body is like positioned or the way you're supposed to do it actually helps you break like the air faster, or like there's a specific way you're supposed to lean forward that he's like actually like helps create it helps create less resistance on the body when you're running. So like that's an actual reason why they run like that.
It's an aerodynamic thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did they figure this out? Like back in like you know, like before they even knew what air pressure was. Like who figured this out? Who was sitting there like, I wonder if I run like this, you know? Like,
And then this Usain Bolt who proved everyone wrong.
the man's a machine. He ain't real.
Faster than lightning. Faster than lightning McQueen. Huh?
I'm speed.
Still going on about that. No, it's crazy. Honestly, I think a lot of anime have done that. Like for example, with Sword Art.
Yeah.
The first intro. I remember when I was in high school, I would hear it everywhere. Everywhere I would hear like that intro song. Was it Crossing Fields by Lisa? I was like, I've been a huge Lisa fan before like Sword Art, so like I was on that bandwagon like before everybody else. But like I like how everybody jumped on it like once she was like doing that song. But it was anyway. But my verse like is like I know this, but I've always been like that. Sam. I listen to Spanish music, English music, French music, Russian music. Although that's kind of controversial right now. I listen to Japanese music, Korean music, and Chinese music. So like, if you like, when I have my phone plugged in or something, and I hit shuffle to everything, it is just anything's like even Portuguese music will pop off, man. Like it is crazy.
Having a broad taste in music is definitely it's a good thing. I'm in the same boat.
Oh yeah, I like it. And mind you, it's always funny because every now and then, actually, I used to have this friend. We'd jump into his car, and he'd be like, "Yo, just play some music or whatever." Like so I cook my phone up, hit shuffle, and then like all of a sudden like the Spanish song play. It's like, dude, what is this? This is a vibe. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Next song, it's like in Korean. He turned look at me. He's like. He was Asian, mind you. He'd look at me. He's like, "Yo, man, what is this cultural appropriation?" I'm like, "No, man, it's just a vibe." And he's like, "Okay, whatever." And the next song is like in Japanese. He's turned look at me. He's like, "Dude, what are you saying right now? This is definitely." I'm like, "Yeah, trust me." The next song plays and it's like another Spanish song. He's like, "Okay, this is good. This is cool. You're Latino. That's cool." Next song, Chinese. He's like, "Man, I feel like this is an attack on me," because he was actually Chinese. So it was like it just kept going, right? And he was like, man, like this is like the most messed up thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, no, you don't understand, man. Like I'm just trying to like, I don't know. There's something about the issue is I consume so much music. Like I consume. The only way I've ever described it is like imagine you have this much water, like very little, like less than half a cup of water.
Yeah.
Right. And you're in a desert. You've been walking for 3 days, and then someone hands you that much water. What are you gonna do? Just drink all of it, right?
Well, yeah.
Right. That's me with music. That's how I'm consuming music all the time. Like I'm running out. Like I'm running out of music. So like eventually, once I've listened to like most of the English music, like Kendrick's album came out. I didn't listen to it till like 2 days after, but I listened to the whole album. And like one sitting, I'm gonna have to listen to it again because it was you know, it's like everybody's talking about that. What's that song? Like the sorrow song, the sad song. I don't remember the title of the song, but there's this one song that says sad or no cry or made me cry. I can't. Something about sadness. That's the song that everybody's saying is the good song. And then like I'm gonna have to listen to it again because like honestly like I listened to that and then I went right back to J-pop, but like I gotta like you know.
You
like,
gotta give it another listen.
Yeah, I gotta give it another listen. Also, like I have the problem where if I listen to a song too much, I learn the entire song. I gotta stop.
That's a good thing.
No, you don't understand, Sam. Like I mean, like the entire like. There's this one song my sister played for me 3 times. I learned the whole song, even the rap part. The whole song, and she doesn't even know the song.
You're gonna have to show me, fam. I gotta see this in action.
Like I just learn all the words really quickly. I don't know why that works. And like, and mind you, like we're talking like weeks of like time passed between the time. Like I didn't even know the name of the song. Like I learned the song, and then like on the 3rd day I learned the song. I learned the name of the song.
He would be a great karaoke partner.
I can't sing though. Like vocally I don't have the shot. He does. I don't.
So therefore, okay, he can read out the lyrics to you as you sing.
That'd be kind of annoying. Imagine performing and some random guys just like screaming out lyrics.
The guy over the. No, what was the song you were singing earlier?
Lionel Richie, hello.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Hello.
Right, like that would just be weird. Like hold up cute cards. Hold up like a giant sign. Be like, yo, this is the lyrics. From the next one. He's like, one of them's upside down. He's like, what is that? This is like the problem. No, I don't know. But yeah, I think we've talked about a lot of stuff. We went from success to anime to like, I don't even know anymore.
It's because Sam's a really well-rounded person.
I know, that's great.
Yeah.
You know what? You gotta wrap up.
I gotta wrap up. Okay, guys, this has been a Two Latin Brothers podcast with our boy Sam. Make sure to check out the description down below. We're gonna link his TikTok because, of course, gotta make the man's grow, right?
We're gonna link everything down there.
We're gonna link everything down below. Make sure to check out React Mondays if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the the vlog. It's supposed to be good or something. It's a lot of montage apparently. And stay tuned for next week where we get to see his behind the scenes of how his process of TikToks happen and stuff like that. We're also going to be doing a few things with him, so maybe you'll see us in the background of a TikTok or something, who knows. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.